Hi there. This is a reading for the collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Today we're going to talk about what toxic patterns, behaviors, traits that you have helped create within your partner. Okay? Eesh, right? That's heavy. So I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this reading. It's because of a dream that I had. And I feel like one thing that we often tend to do is not recognize our role in situations in our within situations in our life, right? So this dream that I had, it was three women and I was one of the women, and then there were three men. And the three men happened to be like, they looked like celebrities. They weren't them, but they really like embodied them. One of them was actually Brad Pitt's Interview with a Vampire. And then the other gentleman, one of the other gentlemen's was the guy from Incredible Hulk, the villain, the lizard guy or whatever he is. So if you see the pattern, it's kind of like the bad guy, if you will. But anyway, oops, sorry about that. The idea in the dream was that these women, myself included, were going to create some kind of serum or something like that to inject into these men to make them like vampires, essentially. And the idea was that by the time it's like a simulation. So it was kind of like a loop like this, right? Like kind of like a track, I guess, more of like a longer thing like this. The idea was that by the time, if they started here, by the time they got around to this way, we would cure them. Okay. So we did whatever we needed to do to get them to become vampires, and then like all hell broke loose, essentially. And a lot of the men ended up chasing me and they were trying to kill me. So I was kind of like trying to get the other women to help me like administer, like while I was distracting them, like administer whatever it was that they needed to do. But they were like panicking or something, I don't know. So I ran around the thing and I got to the other side, but the guy who plays in the Incredible Hulk, he ended up actually catching up to me. So I had to chop his head off. And then it ended up that we got the other two men cured right after that. So when I woke up from that dream, I was like, holy crap, because you think about vampires, right? Energetic vampires. That's significant if you've been feeling drained or whatever. Pay attention to that. But also, like, one thing that I didn't realize I was doing was handing my energy over to people in my life. Like literally just noticing they're having a hard time and boop, handing it over to them and then being completely drained, right? They weren't taking it from me. I was handing it over. So with the dream and what I'm saying, that's a recognition of like, okay, I'm giving this person, giving away my energy, giving away something that I need. And that's a toxic behavior on my part, but it might create something in these other people, right? Where they depend on that. Okay. So, the idea behind that dream is like, okay, these women, myself included, made these men into these vampires. And then it was like, I wasn't really playing the victim in the dream, but then I was like, oh shit, what have I created? Okay. And then it ended up being okay in the end. But so, before I get into the reading, I just want to say that acknowledging your role in anything is very important. I talk about that a lot. And the key to breaking these patterns that you have, that you might have, passed on to other people or created a different kind of pattern because of your, toxic traits or whatever, is literally you just acknowledging and doing different. So you can allow these other people to show up in the way that they have always probably, the healthy way, right? So what I'm trying to say here, getting to the actual point, is that oftentimes we look at other people like they're toxic or they're doing something that's not in the highest good, right? When ultimately it comes down to us, like our role, like I was saying, or perhaps there's something that we were enabling them to do. Okay. So, the fact that it was women and then men in the dream, this is probably related to love, but you can apply it to any area of your life. If you recognize, a family member doing something that you enabled, or a friend, or whoever, the important thing is that you recognize it so you can stop doing whatever it is you're doing to create this thing that's not healthy, right, from this other person. So hopefully that's not too confusing. Hopefully that all made sense. And now let's get to the reading. Ace of Swords right off the bat, clarity. So you might have already, before even coming to this video, you might have already kind of had an inkling about this. Like maybe you are starting to question, a lot of you carry too much for sure. See, I was talking about energy, handing over energy, same idea. You might have already kind of been, like, the idea popped in your head, but you didn't know how to put it to words, is what I'm thinking. Perseverance. Yes. Look at, she looks like she ran a mile. She was racing or something. The Ace of Swords. Yeah. It's like you might be in a space now where you're acknowledging your role, and you're not really Seven of Swords. You're not lying to yourself anymore, and you're saying, ugh, I really thought this person was up to no good, but what I can recognize now is that I was sabotaging. I was self-sabotaging. I was doing things that weren't aligned with me, that I've always done, and now I'm changing that behavior in order to make room for this other person to show up authentically. Really good, moving away from that energy. Yeah. You don't have to carry, a lot of you probably have this kind of like Ace of Swords reverse. The Ace of Swords wants to be here though. Clarity is coming. This reading is going to help. A lot of you might identify with the fact that you have this kind of martyr type energy, right? It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. We'll get there, right? King of Wands, beautiful. I've got kind of got the shakes right now. That's interesting. The Chariot, really good. Yeah, wow. Two of Wands. The Star, hope. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Aquarius, that woman kind of looks pregnant. Oh, there's the Nine of Wands again. Look at that. The Lovers in the reverse. She looks pregnant for some reason. Like that shirt looks like it's supposed to be sticking out. Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and Cancer energy. This feels like a lot of you are coming on the other side of what I was just talking about, though. Maybe you've already recognized the role that you played in whatever the thing was that you were enabling this person to do, in order to be the martyr, or in order to receive the love, or in order to be enough. That feels like a big one. And you're seeing like the hope. You're seeing hope now for the first time in a long time. Like, look at all those mountains too. Like there's been a lot of obstacles for this, right? And the Devil in reverse, Capricorn. I'm like, I gotta look at one more. So what you're moving away from now, this is really good. Look at that, 10 of Cups underneath. So what you're moving away from now is the feeling of being, like you are a person that has probably felt like you've had to go it alone. And it's like this me versus them mentality, even in your love relationships. And that feels really icky. And I'm sorry that you've had to feel like that. But because of like your own personal demons, right? And I saw the seven of swords while I was shuffling, which is definitely like a sneaky kind of energy. Like you have kind of exhibited this, like, it's more mistrusting. You don't trust the intentions of other people, so you kind of keep them at a distance. So you're kind of moving away from that energy of like, I have to go this alone, or me versus them, like I was saying, of not feeling unified. And I have to say, like, it's you. It's totally you. It's not this person. And you have to take what resonates. If you're here and you're trying to make something work with somebody who is more in the devil energy here, then like you got to recognize that. But what I see you moving towards, the Hermit, clarity, again, like this has been a long journey. I'm telling you, that's Virgo energy. But this is like enlightenment. You're moving towards your happiness. Okay. Really, really good with your person, with your people, with your family. I mean, it could be your extended family. It could be any kind of family, but this feels like home. Okay. I need a drink of water. What I find really interesting, this is a big one, is that so the people in your life, whoever they are, it could be your person though, somebody who is this feels very loyal and passionate, funny, happy, just a rock to you. This feels very like solid. I've got chills. Has constantly tried to hand you a cup. Okay. And you're out here looking outside, not paying attention to what they're actually offering you. And maybe you're like looking at them going, oh, they don't do enough for me, or they're, I do all these things, but they don't do anything. Well, yes, they do. You're just not seeing it because you're looking at it through your own lens. Okay. This is like you seeing what you want to see. And it's you like not seeing what they actually have to offer because of the fear, right? That Seven of Swords. Like, what if it's not real? This is like a illusion kind of energy. What if it's an illusion? Like, I'm looking out this window here, but there's clouds. I can see clouds, but there's nothing that I can really see through this window. Like, I'm not seeing it clearly. And with the Ace of Swords right before it, you probably have struggled with clarity for a long time in general. And part of that comes from yourself, like not trusting yourself and not like really like undermining your intelligence is definitely a thing for sure. This is the same person. And actually, okay, so this is also about your person providing you some kind of clarity. Maybe it's some kind of knowledge that they pass on to you. Maybe it's some kind of advice. It feels like them handing you clarity and offering you stuff, but you saying, like you dismissing it completely, not acknowledging it, dismissing it before, like not giving them an opportunity to kind of explain themselves, and or just you saying, this is the same old story that I've always known. One that's not the truth at all with this person, this particular person. So, and yeah, see, masculine, I was talking about relationships. It's definitely involving, I was going to say revolving around masculine energy. So one of the other things that I feel like you might have, so this King of Wands could easily be the Emperor too, like Aries energy, where you have revolved your world around this person, and then they're kind of showing up now, like if you've kind of recognized you were doing that and that was toxic, you kind of like are spending more time in the Hermit mode, wherever the Hermit card is, and you're going, okay, I need to kind of back off a little bit and focus on myself and make this a little more healthy. So they might be noticing that, and it might be a little uncomfortable for you both. And they might be showing up a little bit differently right now because you are setting this feels like setting boundaries. It's very interesting with that because it's like you're alone over here and we've got the hermit. Like the person's trying to come through and offer stuff, but you're kind of like in your own world. Like that's why the hermit showed up. You're in your own world. But at the same time, you're like contradicting yourself. Like at the same time, you're just trying to pour all this energy into this person. So there's like a fine line. Like I just want to go like this. Boop. There's a fine line between independence and codependency, right? And I feel like you're having trouble right now, or you're trying to work on like, how do I stay independent while still being in this relationship, in this connection in a healthy way, okay, is the best way to put it. Don't isolate yourself for sure. That's not going to help anything. You might want to find activities to do outside the home, or change up your routine, because if you recognize like your whole day's focused on this person, like change up your routine, do things more fun, more lighthearted, so you're not ruminating. This feels very, and I've got chills, ruminating about everything. Like you've got your connections, your relationship under a microscope right now, and it's okay because you're trying to figure out how to navigate this new territory that you're heading in, the Chariot, the 10 of Cups. Like you and this person will get there, right? You want to get there. Like, look at, that's a palace. This is beautiful. I mean, you've got a home built with this person. The home's already beautiful, but this is like having all your dreams, right? So this is like completely unknown territory. So yes, you need to kind of see where you are creating these toxic things in your relationship so that you can move forward in a healthier way. But that doesn't mean that you isolate yourself from this person. That doesn't feel good to anybody, okay? I feel like your person just really has good energy and they're along for the ride, is what I want to say. Like they, you might resonate with the fact that this person like really knows who you are. Like they really see you, like the real you. They see, they probably have seen these things that you do that aren't necessarily healthy, but they accepted you anyway, and they're patient and they're understanding. And again, even if it's uncomfortable right now, like the end result is going to be really good for you both, because they don't want to feel like what they do isn't enough, okay? Because like I was saying, they're handing you this cup, they're handing you clarity, and you were going before, I don't want that. But you might be coming into a space where you're like, wow, they were right about a lot of things, and they've always had great things to offer me. I've got chills, but I wasn't looking at it like that because I was, looking through a different lens, and that's okay. Yeah, it's a little more unhealed energy, but you're working on it. And that's the important thing. Okay. I keep looking at her white socks. I don't know why. I think we're going to go here. Yeah, this is really good. And there's a balancing factor too with you, right? I just did a video recently where I talked about, the gray area. You might want to check that out. Look at that. That's like similar energy. Wow. So, okay, hold on. I want to talk about this, but the gray area is really important. Like, see, you might see things in black and white, and that can cause a misunderstanding in your connections where you're, because you're looking through that lens of like your lens, you're not seeing the other person's point of view. And that's where the me versus them thing comes in. So, it's important and really just embracing the light and dark of things. So allowing yourself to be upset, like maybe get mad at that person for a good reason, right? And express it instead of like always trying to be over here. Or maybe you're always mad. Like, okay, we need to balance that a little better. So I feel like something in your relationship or your connection that you might be struggling with. This feels like vulnerability, expression. You both have so this is like seductive, right? Both energies are very seductive. Hopefully I don't get in trouble with this card. But it's like learning how to embrace those qualities of yourself. You might have some kind of shame, or like both of you might have some kind of shame around this energy of expression, this kind of expression. So I actually want to get a little more into this. I feel like this is really important. There's something coming up for this for you. Maybe I'll pull one of these. So I feel like it might be on both sides. Like maybe you both did something that's kind of like blocking this energy. Or there's something that you did where this person, it like triggered this person. So now they're not able to express themselves. 2 of Cups. Wow. Okay. You know what it is? I was literally about to be like fear. Like it's like fear, doubts, like you can't see it clearly. And I feel like it's both of you. There's a fear of the vulnerability that comes with this connection on both sides. It's coming from the past for both of you, for sure, because you have a strong connection, 100% chills with this person. And it's very undeniable, but the mind for both of you gets in the way of it. What's this right here? I just keep looking at the Hermit. Yeah. It's like you both retreat when you get uncomfortable, when you feel like you're vulnerable. And it doesn't have to be like the King of Swords. I was trying 10 of Wands. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like sexual in nature, but I feel like it is. I feel like there's something about being like actually intimate between the two of you that feels uncomfortable. And there's a cardinal outside right now whistling. Wow. Okay, so that's kind of that's good that we're talking about this, because I feel like you need to hear like, it's not just you. I'm not like picking on you, okay? Like everybody's got baggage, everybody's got a past, everybody's got like toxic things about them, right? But the key is recognizing it, which you are here and you're doing, and then working towards clarity and working towards your connection and getting better connected and being more vulnerable and intimate with each other. So I feel like for a lot of you too, like this person, this person is a leader. Your person is a leader, but you might have shouldered a lot of responsibility of this connection, and like that's okay, because I feel like there's times when like you might take a lot of the lead, especially like that dream, right? The women were doing the thing. But you might take a lot of the lead, but let this person take the lead too, right? They're capable. They can do it. So, okay. So something toxic that you've probably created in this person that, like I was talking about enabling, right? Is like you doing everything and not trusting them to do things like that they can do. Like you might, this might be like a wound around, Well, this is definitely generational. I should have said that in the beginning. Because if you think about how, like, prior generation, like women especially, have handled men, and I think of, I'm thinking of somebody that I know specifically, that they treat men like they're, oh, they can't do it. It's like, what? Get out of here. They're more capable than we know, than they know. We don't give them the opportunity to take the lead or do the things that they're trying to do, right? Handing the things over, and taking the thing, gossip. Yeah. So if you resonate with that, let go of control, okay? And see what this person does. They don't need you taking care of everything for them, okay? They don't want that. They may like it right now, like it's easy for them, but they don't want that. They want to be your equal. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. So one of your fears might be like of judgment with this person, and vice versa. Actually, I feel like on both sides there's been like prior connections where they had people that were very critical of them. Ooh. So there might be something you're exhibiting, and vice versa, like I said, for you too. There might be something you're exhibiting that's like a reminder of people before, and they feel like nothing they do is good enough type thing. Yeah, they're yelling. I knew that was going to come out. Heavy on the crown and third eye. You guys have a strong connection, that's for sure. You know what the other one's thinking, and vice versa. Yeah, look at that. They don't need to be rescued. They don't need you to do that. They don't want you to do that, even. They can take care of themselves. They were taking care of themselves just fine before you showed up. And they don't want, like, they want an equal. And, like, they don't want to rescue you either. Like, you got to do your own work, right? And you are. They want somebody that's standing with them or sitting with them on the throne, not, anybody playing the victim or anything like that, okay? Faith is significant, and that's been coming up a lot. Faith. Having faith. You need to have more faith in yourself and in this person, for sure. Yes. Whoa, sorry about that. Ooh, judge. Oh my God, not the judge coming out. Martyr. So the light of the martyr is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, but the shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. Yes. Well, it's attention seeking. So you might find yourself, sorry about this. Boop. You might have found yourself in the past doing things that you thought this person was going to give you attention for. And that just is a big turn off for this person. Huge turn off. And I feel like that's a turn off for anybody. So don't do that. Like the other thing is that you know you're a good person. They know you're a good person. You don't need to showcase, is the word I'm hearing. Showcase like your achievements to these people, this person specifically, but people in general. Like people know you're a good person and you know it. You don't have anything to prove. Stop doing that. Okay. So Ace of Swords reversed with Athlete reversed. Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Wow. Okay. Entitlement's a good word. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of ego coming through, especially on your side. I feel like it can be the case over here too, though. I feel like there's kind of a know-it-all sense. Like maybe you've been healing for a while and you think you know like everything and you don't, okay? And especially like I was saying about the perception. And the problem with the ego showing up is that it creates the sense of it creates a challenge where there shouldn't be one, like a competition of needing to be right, of needing to prove somebody else wrong. And then that just makes, again, that's just like a distance creator, a discomfort in your connection. So next time you find yourself thinking you know what this person's doing or their intention, you need to just ask, like, hey, why are you doing that? Or can I ask what your thoughts are right now? Even something as simple as that. And not as an attack, right? Be careful how you're using your words. I'm kind of surprised the Queen of Swords isn't here, to be honest with you, in reverse. This is very, there's a very critical tone to you. And I want to make clear, actually, Spirit wants to make clear that the critical piece of you is projecting onto other people what you actually think about yourself. So I actually recommend that, well, we'll do some affirmations at the end too. I recommend that you kind of sit with that for sure and see like where you're most critical of yourself, and maybe even like sitting with, okay, how am I being critical of my partner? That's really important. And because you might find that the things that you're looking at this person about is actually what you're doing and nothing about them. Okay. And actually there might be something about, inner child, this might be an inner child thing where you felt like you were under a microscope. Yeah, you were under a microscope, but also, like I'm getting Capricorn energy, actually. Overachiever, like needing things to be perfect, perfectionism. It's not really about, like, I don't think you really care about how people perceive necessarily you and your relationship, but there might be something about, like, so the judge came up, right? About right and wrong, the black and white, or needing things to be fair in general. So you got to sit with that and see, like, and heal that and see where that's coming from. But I do feel like the judge or the critical piece too might have come from past relationships. So you feel like this person is being critical of you, but you are the one who's critical. Okay. Oh no, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call. I had to hit no. Oh God, it's already 32 minutes. I've been talking a lot. It's been a while since I've done a video. So, Four of Cups with Mystic and Monk Nun. So yeah, this is all about connection too with the divine. You're working on your connection and understanding of things in general as a whole. And you are actually in the midst of changing your perspective on things, where this is very much like a lack mindset here too, where you are, look at intimate union with the divine. Yes. Where you are seeing like how, like literally bird's eye view of how you used to view things and going, ugh, I don't like this. Like I know I have faith in the divine. I have faith in God, spirit, whatever you talk to. I know things are going to work out for me and it's going to be great. And your attitude is everything. That's going to change everything. I'm telling you, chills. It's going to change everything for you. I promise you that. Start receiving what's being offered to you. And it's not, well, it's this from the divine, but it's also this, okay? Because here's the thing. Part of why you don't take that cup, it's like so this is kind of mirroring actually. There's a question of what do I have to do in return for it? Where's that prostitute card? Like the prostitute, that's it right there. What do I have to do in return? Listen to the birds right now. What do I have to do in return for this cup? when this cup is being handed to you in good faith. There's no agenda, and vice versa. So quit that right now and receive whatever is being handed to you. King of Wands with rescuer in the reverse assumes that the rescued will, assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. Yes. So part of your, why you're revolving your world around this person, why you're, I got to do everything for this person, is because you are expecting something when you hand that cup. You got to check your intentions. It needs to come from the heart. Like, I just want to do this for you because I love you or because I care about you, whatever the case is. I'm not doing it for any other agenda, because the more you do this, the farther away this goes from you. It feels icky to the both of you. We don't like it. Yeah, totally get that one. So the Chariot with Virgin reversed and Mother. Fear of intimate union. Wow. Okay, you need to be held. Give yourself a hug. So there's a mother wound for sure. But this is actually more of a nurturing oneself on both sides too. I feel like you're kind of like, this could go either way, but that's not the case. It's time to get vulnerable. Like, if I don't show my hands, if I'm not, Brazil, I guess, if I don't show my hands and say, this is really, and it has nothing to do with this. This is really uncomfortable for me, getting vulnerable. And here's why. Because in the past, when I've gotten vulnerable, like, it has gone this way for me. But I trust that it can go, I'm sorry, I'm being kind of cryptic. So let me just say it like it is. So the intimate, vulnerable part, however you want to say it, it's something very feminine. So it could come from your mother, but it could come from other females you've crossed paths with. And you're actually looking at masculines like they're the problem, but it's something where you felt you got vulnerable with women. Like, if you're a female, I mean, you could be a male too. And then it ended up going the wrong way for you, not the way you wanted. So the neglect and all of that is something you do to yourself, and this is giving me anxiety, which ends up not putting you in a space where you can get intimate over here. Okay. So this is like not allowing yourself to have what you want to, out of fear of it being taken away. There might have been females who have taken away. I'm going to sage real quick. There might be females that have taken men away from you, or who have put you in a bad light. Gossiping is coming to mind. You don't have to fear that anymore, especially with this person. I also feel like this person might have a mother wound. So it's like there's another mirroring aspect here, okay? And the more that you are getting vulnerable here with this person, the better it's going to be for you both. This person's different. They're not like the rest. Two of Wands with Judge. Balancing justice. Justice being on the Judge card. I was talking about justice in judging. So balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. Yes. See, like, there might be a little bit of a power struggle here. And I mean, you both could be creating it, but I feel like you have something where you have been wronged a lot by masculine energy. It could be your father too. It could have started there. So you are trying to have control of the situation because you feel out of control, because you're out of your depth with this person. They're not, you understand, they're not like the rest. Two twos. Like, we took a new path, a good path, right? But you are projecting onto this person whatever your fear is because of how other people acted in the past for you. So overall, I think that the only thing I really see that you have passed, like the toxic things that you've passed on to this person, is that you might have inflated their ego a little bit. You've spent a lot of time and energy on them. Like there's like a self-importance, right? And have carried too much for them, handled too much for them, and also don't have boundaries. So you need to work on setting boundaries. You need to work on focusing on yourself, like creating balance in your connection too. And pouring a little bit of like like you see this person beautifully, like how you actually see them as opposed to how you're acting over here isn't the truth. Like you do see who they are. You know they're a beautiful person. So the way that you actually see them, you need to focus on that as opposed to what the devil is telling you over here. But you also need to see yourself in that, the light you see in them, because you wouldn't be around this person if you weren't in the good energy. Really, like the queen should be here with the king. Okay, you are a queen, king, whatever, however you resonate. Nobody in any connection is better than the other person. So you might have had this idea carried over from prior relationships or started in childhood, right? And you need to start acting like you're equals, because you are. Okay? That was good. All right, we're going to end this with a couple of affirmations here. Let me get these out of the way real quick. The star. Yeah. Start pouring more into yourself for sure if you haven't already, because that is going to be really helpful in providing clarity to you, but also kind of changing the course of your connection and taking it into a better space. Listening. See, the ego. I'm telling you. Enthusiasm. Yeah. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Yeah, so one of the things too that I think has also been actually that's something else that, yeah, your energy is very strong. Okay, so if you resonate with the fact that you have kind of been a little down or a lot down for a long time, right? But you know you're supposed to be happy and you're working on that. That's something you're working on, is this right here, okay? Your moods have really affected this person. They're generally upbeat, but they might have found themselves leaning a little bit on the negative, and that's something that I'm not saying you have to like take it all and then make them happy. That's not what I mean. But you have to recognize that you don't want to project your mood onto anybody. So if you're in a bad mood, like that's okay. And you're going to be around that person, fine. But be careful about like, just like you wouldn't want somebody taking your energy, right? Don't put it on them. Okay. Like set the intention if you're in a bad mood that if I get around this person, it's okay that I'm in a bad mood, but I'm not going to hand it to them. Like maybe get it off your chest and then say, okay, I'm going to go be alone right now. I don't want to give this to you. Okay. Listening. This is very important because listen, I was talking earlier about how this person offers you clarity, but you don't take it. Okay. You need to work on active listening with this person because I feel like they definitely listen to what you have to say. Now, maybe they don't take your advice all the time, but that's not your business, right? They do listen to you. You need to listen to them. Excuse me. I foster a heightened level of engaged listening in all my conversations, whether in person or over the phone. When I start to zone out or feel the urge to interrupt, I remind myself that it is better to tune in and listen, really listen to what the other person is saying. Because without good, attentive listening, I won't be able to, shoot, what did they just ask me? Okay, here's another thing. I think I was talking about this in the beginning. If you actually listened to this person, you would see their intentions, the good intentions they have. It's right in front of you. Listen better. Enthusiasm. When I have to make a spreadsheet, this is more work related, but it's fine. When I have to make a spreadsheet, sit in a long meeting with no coffee, or do anything else I don't like, I dig deep and find a way to be enthusiastic about it. The difference between having to do something and getting to do it all. Oh my God, stop. The difference between having to do something and getting to do it is all in my perspective, which means I suppose that I have to adapt a positive outlook. Damn it. Okay, perspective and positivity. Bye. So there's going to be things too that, like, maybe this person asks you to do something someday that maybe you don't want to do necessarily. Okay? There's going to be things in any connection where you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do because you care about that person. Stop being a baby about it. Recognize where they're doing things for you that they might not want to do. Okay? Loyalty. I'm there for the people I care about in whatever way they need me. Ride to the airport? No problem. Bail you out of jail? You bet. Go see your band again? Maybe. The point is, when I stand with them, I know I'm a part of something special. And to be honest, it doesn't suck to look around me and remember they're standing with me too. I got chills all over my body. You need to start seeing this for what it really is instead of what you're telling yourself it is, what lies you're telling yourself. The devil energy, okay? Unflappability. I am an unflappable goddess when my work is critiqued. When I receive criticism, I hear the feedback, accept what I need to change, then wipe from my memory any harsh words, tones, implications, or brazenly obvious eye rolls. I'm totally impervious to anything that would make the average person feel judged or insulted. Got that? You condescending dummy who can't kill my spirit. You are your own worst enemy. This is you. Stop being critical, okay? Everybody's allowed to make mistakes, and you might find yourself in a really critical condition right now, like you're overly critical, not critical health-wise, but like overly critical because of your healing especially, okay? So you have to remember that you are doing the work and stop getting down on yourself. You might recognize where you have hurt this person, and that doesn't feel good because you don't want to hurt them. So recognize it, move on, say, I'm going to do different from now on. And that's it. You're good. You're golden. So I thought I was going to end there, but I actually think I just want to pull a couple more cards to just make you feel good. Okay. Just make you feel better, because that last one, I want to give you a hug. I know it's hard. Healing's not easy. Let me tell you. It is not easy. I say that time and time again. Okay, children. There's something this is making me emotional. There's something very childlike and innocent about your connection. Oh my God, there's 3 dogs. You bring out the inner child in that person. They bring out the inner child in you. Start playing more. Start having fun. Honeymoon. Playful. Oh my God. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. You can't make this up, and it fell right on that card. This person's probably more playful, so you need to lighten up a little bit, okay? Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together, but enjoy the bliss. But listen, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. But here's the thing, receiving right now is important for you. Receive what this person is giving you, okay? What they've always been giving you. Look back where they were giving to you and you weren't opening yourself to that, okay? And start receiving more. That's so good. I love this for you. I love this. I hope this helped you. Any likes, shares, comments, subscribers to my channels, all of them are super helpful. If you would like to donate to my channel, I will put it in the comments. I have Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. It's not expected, but really appreciated. I put a lot of time and energy into this stuff. And then right now I'm having a booking sale, online booking sale, and it's only good through the 1st of May. It's $20 off any online booking service, and the price is already reflected on the website. So I will put that in the comments as well. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a good day.